Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. TFC Philadelphia Union, a big game at BMO Field. TFC looking to go up the table in the Eastern Conference. Would they be able to do it? How would they do it? Don't worry, here at the interviews, we've got you covered. So on this edition of the interviews, I'm going to briefly break down TFC against the Philadelphia Union. So TFC, Philadelphia Union, what went right, what went wrong? TFC looking to get back to winning ways in MLS terms. We look at the board, TFC in a 4-2-3-1, Jovinko up front, Osorio just behind him, Hasler, Vasquez, you got Delgado, and you got Akeche in midfield. You look at the Philadelphia Union, you got Sapong up front, you got Dako just in behind him. On the flank, you have Akum Ilsinho in midfield, you have Mindinyanin, and you have Bedoya. What went right for TFC? Well, they got a lot of space down the right flank. Why this was the fact that Hasler was drifting in narrow. They didn't want the fullback Gaddis just to stay there, so he often held a narrow position. They didn't want to leave the center backs exposed in that area. Sometimes you'd have Osorio making forward runs, and you had Vasquez floating around. So that left Oro to combine and go down the right flank. Not how they probably wanted to go for it, but that's how it worked out. Pushed forward. There were sometimes Hasler came in and they combined on that flank. There was one time where we saw Vasquez cut in and they combined on that flank. So that's how TFC kind of got forward. A lot of crosses down the right. The goal actually stemmed from there. We'll get to that in a second. We also look at the fact that Victor Vasquez was very good again, and he shows why he's so integral to the side, starting from the left, sometimes in the middle, sometimes floating down to the right, dropping deep, finding pockets of spaces here and here in the half spaces, and it's just him getting on the ball, his ability to play penetrative passes in behind the defense, in those pockets, his passing range in general is just exceptional, while Osario's and Delgado's is quite limited, and Akeche hasn't really kicked on to MLS life yet. Vasquez is so pivotal to this side, and we've seen it in the second game. When we look at us, we see Jovinko. This is what it is. One up top for Jovinko, when he goes, he drops off. He's got center backs following him. He's so easy to turn to the left, turn to the right, forces defenders into fouls. Also, the fact that when Philly had the ball, they were trying to push their fullbacks forward. The one prototypical move that we see from Jovinko all the time is him moving into the channels. And he did that on several occasions throughout the game. Eventually, obviously, you know how to deal with it, but when you get Jovinko in those positions 1v1, most of the time in transition, he's very difficult to beat. So let's get to the goals. We get to the goals, we look at it, and we see this. Osorio obviously liking to get forward. We see Jovinko pick the ball from deep, turns, combines with him, shifts to the right. What happens is that the fullback is out of position, so he's able to play that pass into Hasler. Hasler breaks in. Who is it? Victor Vasquez breaking in for the pullback. He fires a shot past the keeper. 1-0 TFC. We look at the second goal. It's a bit different. It comes from transitional play, but again, the fullbacks are higher. It's Osorio sliding the ball to Jovinko, 1v1 with Elliott, who's already booked, cuts in, cuts out, breaks in on goal easily, fires a shot past Blake. We saw that happen several seconds later with Osorio dropping into midfield, overloading that space, finding him there. Then we saw what we saw was Morgan pushing forward, Morgan pushing him out that way, allows Jovinko to cut in, forces Blake into a save. The third goal stems from something similar. TFC already moved to a 3-5-2. They had the left back out of position. What happens is that it's a Chapman run, he came on as a sub. Chapman making a run in behind to get a ball from Jordan Hamilton, and he fired a super effort past the keeper. But that's how TFC really got forward. And what went wrong for Philly? Well, they didn't really do much. They didn't really create many chances. They struggled in that area, and that's a big issue for them. When TFC dropped into a 4-5-1, they couldn't get balls into space between the lines. They couldn't get balls into Sapong. You thought they'd probably try to lob balls into him to get that height advantage and physical presence over Bradley and over Vandervelde. That didn't happen here. When they tried to press, they very rarely got the press on, but they did stop Vandervelde and Bradley from getting forward. But throughout the game, they were able to step into midfield, play the first pass, and that was an error that obviously could have been rectified. Ilsinho never really got going because Morgan was tight on him. Akum was often too high, so Oro was able to get back, and then when Oro was there, Akum couldn't beat him 1v1. We saw Bedoya and Mindinyanin do a good job in pressing Delgado and Akeche out of the game, but sometimes that wasn't enough because from a creative aspect, they couldn't get things going. Bedoya had the best two chances. You look at the free kick the corner kick that he nodded off the post, and then you look at the chance where he was played in, he ran off Osorio, broken free into the box, but his shot was saved by Alex Bono. But besides that, they never really created many chances from open play. They were beaten in transition in the right flank and by Jovinko on the left, and once again, nothing for Sapong, and they struggle throughout. But let me know what you guys think. Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget, I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.